Gene, you were I believe you were the only press fan in the auditorium when Malcolm X was shot.
Yes, that's correct. I went as an individual.
Is that how you happened to get in?
Well, today's my day off, and as a reporter, I'm naturally interested in current events. And this being the tense kind of situation in this part of town that it is, I decided that I would attend today, not as a reporter, but as a private citizen.
Well, just what happened?
You mean when Malcolm was shot, I assume?
Exactly.
I was sitting in the front row, right in front of Malcolm, in fact, and he came out on the stage. The introductory speaker turned over the platform to him, and he raised his hand in a Muslim greeting, Salam Alaikum. At that point, I heard a rumbling behind me, and I'm sure everyone else did too, and I turned around in my seat to see what it was. And then I saw two guys standing up, and the next thing, my next impression, it all happened very rapidly, as you can understand, is of the gunshots. And I saw Malcolm had his hand up. He said, stay cool, stay calm, or something like that. And just then the gunfire went off, and his hand was up. I remember this. I turned around quickly, and the next thing I saw was Malcolm falling back in a dead faint. Right after that, of course, like everybody else, chairs were being knocked over. There were screams. Everybody was in a mad confusion. I dove for the floor and scrambled behind a rampart on the side. My first impression was, of course, as a reporter, is, to get to a telephone and file my story. And I started crawling towards the back of the auditorium. And I incidentally saw a guy running out, evidently one of the perpetrators running out, and he was shooting like a cowboy all over the place. And, of course, the shots were going off wildly, and after that there was pandemonium in the place.
How many shots did you hear? Do you know?
I can't give you an accurate number, because I just wasn't that observant. But I would say I heard at least 8 shots fired. First, about 3 rapidly, and that's clear because Malcolm, I understand, was hit about 3 times, and then afterwards, when they were trying to get out, I imagine they were trying to scare everybody out of their way. There were many gunshots fired.
Did you see the man who fired the shot?
When you say see him, I didn't record a distinct visual impression of anyone. I just remember seeing someone fleeing. I couldn't identify anyone. No.
Well, how many people would you say had guns that were firing in there?
Well, I am told that there were 2. Mind you, I didn't see the perpetrator shoot Malcolm. I was looking at Malcolm when he was hit. I didn't see the person who was firing. I was facing Malcolm at the time the bullets went off.
Now, what about the man who shot him? I understand somebody was picked up outside or shot outside.
I was inside. I could not verify that for you.
I was WMCA radio, and I didn't go as a reporter. I went, since I'm interested in current events, on my day off. Everybody knew what had happened, and there was screaming and pandemonium. I hit the floor and started doing kind of dog crawl towards a rampart, because at all this time, the gunfire was still going on, you see, and I was in what would have been the range of the gunfire, and just like everybody else, the first impression was to hit the floor. So I did that and got behind a rampart, and as fast as I could, got to a phone and filed my story.
How many shots were fired, would you say, offhand? Dozens, or?
I wouldn't say dozens. I would say I can accurately say at least 5 to 8.
5 to 8. Would you estimate were in the auditorium at the time?
I would estimate about 2,000.
And Malcolm had no opportunity to say anything to address the crowd other than the
only words that he said were Shalom Alaikum and stay calm, stay cool. Those were his last words.
Now, did you see anybody fleeing from the hall after these shots had been fired?
Yes, I did. If you ask me to identify the person, though, I cannot do that. I just saw a back, that's all. And I saw the fellow firing as he left the auditorium.
How long had the meeting been going on before Malcolm appeared and started to address?
The meeting had gone on for about 20 minutes. I don't know the name of the introductory speaker, but he spoke for about 20 minutes or so before...
were these shots from pistols or rifles?
Pistols. Yes.
Was Mrs. Malcolm X up there on the dais with him, or up there on the platform?
She was at the side with her children.
Was she in the auditorium itself, or was she up there on the platform?
Since I wasn't observing her that closely, I would hesitate.
How many people were on the platform at the time?
Oh, Malcolm was alone at the time. Of course, his usual guards were about him.
How many?
I would say, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guards around about him. But of course...
Were they hit too?
No. Everybody was surprised. Nobody was expecting it. The police, the audience, no one was expecting it. It was a complete surprise.
Was there any protection in front of him? Was there a rostrum or anything at that time?
Yes, there was a rostrum in front of him, but he was hit in the chest. I myself saw when they carried him out. I saw blood marks on his undershirt and powder burn. I remember that. And he was unconscious, of course, on the stretcher.
You couldn't tell whether he was dead or not at that time?
He looked rather sallow.
Yes, I see. What other excitement was there in the hall at the time?
What other excitement? I don't think I've experienced a more exciting situation in my life. There was screaming.
Pretty terrible.
Everything that you could imagine that would happen. It was like, the first thing I could think of was Kennedy's assassination.
Yes.
It was like that.
Yes. Well, thank you, Hugh Simpson.
It's Gene Simpson.
Gene
anyway.
Simpson,
Right.
I beg your pardon. G-E-N-E?
That's correct.
Gene Simpson.
Right.
You're about the only eyewitness newsman then in the hall at the time.
That is right. That is correct.
Thank you very much, Gene.